You're tuned into Taiwan Grooves. Let's explore the local music scene. Good day, everyone, and welcome back to the second episode of an interview with a member of the Co-Pilots, Tanner Williams. In the last episode, we discussed the origins of the band, changing bandmates, their debut at a bigger festival in Kenting, and how it feels to play at close venues compared to festivals. The Co-Pilots, an independent rock project, is now based in Taipei and comes originally from Florida. And with nothing more to add, let's jump right in. When you guys do live performance, do you have any specific ritual that you follow? You make sure, you get down there with the people and dance, or you do the sound check yourself, or anything?
Well, we always try and give enough time for sound check. Coming from America, playing in house shows, I never really sound checked much back there. And also I was playing with a smaller group of people. Like in America, I think the largest group of people that I played with was 3 most of the time, like a 3-piece band. But as you put on more people, the sound check becomes more important. So we definitely dedicate more time to sound check these days and have realized the importance of it. But then also sometimes I think maybe we put too much stock in it. I'm like, let's screw it. Let's just play it like a house show and just it doesn't matter. Just get up in there and do it.
Hopefully there's a person who's doing their job and
yeah.
you don't have to worry.
Yeah.
Let go of control. All right. Now, if I were to ask you about the most recent single or from your latest album, whatever you prefer, just maybe pick your favorite song or somehow the one you had most fun making or something, and could you take us through how and why it came to exist?
Okay, I guess I'll choose the latest out there single, Young for the Last Time. I think that's a good way maybe of people who have never heard me before to get to know the band or just my music, because I never wrote a song that was so literal in the lyrics before, but it literally just tells my story up to the point that I had written the song about writing songs at 17, moving to Taiwan, not knowing I was going to be here for so long, and then maybe relationship history, stuff like that. Yeah, I wrote that song. I'm 30 now, so I wrote that song as I was in my late 20s, and I've thought oh man, I'm really young for the last time. This is the only time that people are going to call me young anymore is when they mean I'm not 50. When your older parents say, oh, you're still young. It's right. I'm 30. It's I'm not a kid, but yeah. So I felt this is the last time I'm young. So yeah, that's how that song came about.
That's very true, unfortunately.
And I feel like sonically it was more, I wrote it after Pacific Echo, but it felt more like something that belonged to that world and not something that I wanted to put on the new album that I'm working on now. So it just got put out as its own little single.
I noticed it was more upbeat
It's
than some
more
of the
upbeat.
songs from the latest album. So is the new album gonna be somehow headed in that direction?
Well, yeah, I think Young for the Last Time was a bit different from the new stuff that I'm working on now, so that's why it got put out. But I'd say the new stuff, I don't want to say too much about it because it's not complete yet, but I would say it's moving in a slightly darker direction. Yeah, maybe heavier a little bit. So yeah, it definitely didn't feel like it fit in with that. It's like more disco strings. So
that one sounded happy.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So people should tune in when the album comes out, hopefully at the end of this year. If not, no problem. We'll wait until January or February.
At the latest.
At the latest, good. You got it on record now.
No, I meant that's the latest people will wait. After that, they'll stop caring.
When you usually make a single, an album, do you have any specific approach how you go about? Do you do any marketing, any promotion about it?
Well, the last album that we made was the first that I marketed or that I tried to market. The other albums I didn't, because I have 4, and the first 3 I didn't really market that much because, not that I didn't believe in them, but I didn't really believe in my potential to make it as a big artist. And I was just kind of, I was putting my heart and soul into them, but still realizing at the end of the day, it's just a hobby, or, so I just put it out. I just released it and put it out. But the last one, I thought there was maybe more potential for it to go further, or maybe I just believed in myself a little more. So I spent some of my own money marketing it and buying ads and making music videos for that. The music videos I didn't spend my own money on. We had someone who was in the band help with that. But yeah, then it didn't go as far as I wanted it to. But I think that's all different strategies you can adopt to it. I realized that the money that I was spending was actually just a drop in the bucket compared to like what you should actually spend in terms of marketing. Like for me, maybe like 10,000 NT was a lot of money, but like it would probably take like 200, 300,000 NT to really make a serious dent.
That's crazy.
So I think I'd rather spend that money, given that I don't have those kind of funds, I'd rather spend that money just putting it back into the music, like spending that money on a music video, or like buying a new guitar, or like getting a really nice microphone, and just let it happen naturally by word of mouth, because I know I'm probably not going to make it, and I'm cool with that as much as I can be. Made my peace. So I'd rather just spend that money making a great end result rather than marketing it a bunch,
Yeah. I'm just very curious, like as someone who has never published anything, and people come through, they give some estimates, some numbers, and there's very, 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 very few that can say like they live off the music they make. Like, there's always some kind of teaching involved of the instrument, or like session player or something, different job. So it's...
Yeah, and the end result wasn't even, like, to me, like, I never expected to make that money back that I spent. I just expected to maybe get more people to hear it, and even that didn't work. Like, I mean, more people heard it than other albums, but still, like,
not as you expected.
Not as I would have wanted, and it was still, compared to the amount of money, and maybe my strategy wasn't great, because also I just don't like the whole marketing aspect of it. Like, it's not what I would rather spend my time doing, even if I did
spoken like
try.
A true musician.
Yeah, even if I did try, like, I feel like that energy would better have been spent making things.
You got the Bob Dylan spirit.
Yeah.
Just on your guitar, pen and paper, that's it. Leave me alone, the rest.
Yeah.
Cool, very good. Well, so when you release the newest one, are you just gonna completely disregard the marketing aspect?
There's some things that I'll do. Like, I still would like to make a music video, put it out, maybe a couple music videos. And there's a site called Submit Hub, which is for musicians releasing things. I started using it on the last album, I haven't released anything in a while, so I don't know if people still use it like they did, but you can submit your song to Spotify playlist curators. For submission, you can submit it for free, but then they don't have to listen to it. They can only listen to it if they want to. But then you can pay for tokens, and then they do have to listen to it, and like if they choose not to accept it, then they have to write why they didn't pick it.
These playlist curators, like they construct some playlists on Spotify?
Yeah, and their playlists will have varying amounts of followers.
Let's say like 2026 indie rock artists,
stuff like,
and your song will be put there.
Stuff like that, if they choose to accept it.
Interesting.
And that's kind of the new radio, because people don't really. Oh yeah, they don't listen to radio.
Yeah,
I'm in the wrong place to say that. But not as much for music. So people listen to Spotify playlists or music playlists. So trying to get your song onto these playlists is, it's the new getting your song on the radio. And these individual people are curating it. But I have a lot of problems with that too. Like for instance, like I think I have some songs that can fit neatly in some playlists, but then there are other songs that I think, which I'm pretty proud of, because they're not one genre, they're a bit more genre bending.
Right.
But those don't fit into a neat category as much, so those would get rejected more, maybe for that reason. Because sometimes I got messages saying, oh, I really like the song, but this doesn't fit the vibe that I'm going for in my playlist.
I see.
I wouldn't just get messages like that. Sometimes people would, be pretty brutal and be like, I hate the song. No, they wouldn't say I hate the song, but I remember one comment which was really funny. He said, yeah, I dig this song. If only it could be a little better. Like, if it was just, I just wish it could be a bit better. It's like, thanks for the advice. I'll go back
I'll
in.
Keep
and,
that in.
Yeah, and
next
I'll just
album.
make it better somehow.
Oh man, I didn't know there's such a service. I thought all the playlists coming is kind of like a user that just puts a whole bunch of songs in one playlist, and then perhaps people search for a liquid drum and bass, and suddenly that person's songs, like he plugged himself in, and it just.
That's probably still like that, but also, yeah, there is a bit of an industry, I guess, to
right.
it.
If you say there's money involved, the playlist I make and the playlist they make, definitely theirs is going to pop up quicker.
Yeah. So I think playlist culture, it still has lots of problems. And Spotify, recently they've been putting their own AI music into their own playlists.
Their own AI music.
Yeah, because I think the user playlists are one level, but the ultimate goal, I think, for most musicians in terms of exposure would be to get on the Spotify playlist, like the editorial playlists, because that will expose you to a ton of people. And that's like kind of it's like chasing the dragon a bit. But then like if you ended up getting there, that was a big deal. But now the amount of placements that there's less placements, because Spotify has been putting their own AI music to fill out those playlists, like filling it out with junk in terms of the popular artists. Yeah, so now it's even less exposure and less money being given to up and coming artists.
That's crazy. So if you thought making it big was difficult 5 years ago, now it's
even harder. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, what is your opinion on AI music? Just like, because I have walked, I don't know, let's say in somewhere, supermarket, not supermarket, but let's say a gym or somewhere, and you hear clearly this music has been made by AI.
I think that it's kind of scary. The development of it has been a bit scary. I mean, and I've actually dabbled in a bit of AI music myself, not for the co-pilots, but because I teach English, and at my company, the English songs for the children were really awful. It was really like the person that made them did not know music. Like there were wrong notes in there. Like
so he knew English but not music.
Yeah, it was really like they did it at the 11th hour. And there's this one website where I just like put in the lyrics and just said the genre I want.
Yeah.
And then it put out a song, and I was like, it's actually better than like the stuff that was on the official CD.
Right.
And that even kind of scared me a bit. I mean, it's not, the thing about AI music is I've never heard anything that was good. It's just in the middle of the road. But it is scary. I mean, I guess that's what AI will do anyways, that it's going to produce something that's like, it's not going to make anything horrible.
Right.
I mean, maybe it will. I can't say I've listened to a bunch of AI music on my own time willingly, but it seems like it's designed to make stuff that's just like generic, which I guess will replace people whose job it is to make jingles. So
Yeah,
that's
even
sad.
with photos or videos, something like you look back 2 years and it's like, oh, it's AI made, and now you're like, is it AI made?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
the thing about the video thing is scary because I've been fooled a couple times now, and I used to be able to easily tell.
Right.
I guess AI music, the point that it'll get scary for me, actually now that I think about it, because I remember when I did that like a year ago, that like made the, so it just put out a single audio file, like a single track. And the point where I think it gets scary or interesting or weird or whatever is like when, like you can't edit the track that it gives you. Like you can't say like, oh, I like this, but make the chorus 5 seconds shorter. And the point that it'll get weird is when it will give you the stems for all those different audio files, and then
so
you can go in and edit it, and then it's like, man, I sound like an old man. But it's like, will people even play instruments anymore when that happens? When like you can just get like a guitar track and just edit in, write in exactly what you want, and I just still think there's a lot of merit to be found in playing an instrument with your own body and putting your own personality into it.
Right.
I worry that if that ends up being the case where people can literally edit the stems and make anything they want, that they're going to forget, or not forget certain things, but that certain things will become even more niche, like learning how to play an instrument, which I think for every songwriter and musician, like something about the exact way you play your instrument shapes the kind of music you create. So it would be strange. Yeah, in a lot of ways technology it's a double-edged sword, because maybe more people would make music and maybe it would be amazing, but I fear that it wouldn't be.
It's hard to predict.
Yeah.
As you say, yeah, maybe the market in 1 year, 2 years will be so oversaturated. The artists who made it will no longer make it.
Yeah.
It will be the people who have no musical or some musical knowledge, and then all that will matter probably is the live shows.
Yeah. I'm not worried about AI making amazing music. I feel like I still don't think it could make music better than an amazing songwriter. I mean, it can make better music than terrible bands or terrible songs, but I don't think it outperforms like actual real human emotion and an amazing song. But like in the Spotify case, like, are they just going to sprinkle in the tracks that they want to get played and then fill the rest out with slop? And people won't even notice that it's slop because they're hearing it so much.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, that's another skippable song. It's just more reason to push out the rest of the up and coming artists.
Yeah.
So they don't even have to pay them. So they can only give the money to the top 20 earning artists on
And
Spotify.
themselves.
Yeah, and themselves.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's like putting the money back into their own pocket.
Right, right. It's interesting. So next time I see you pulling your Rolls Royce and you be like, I made it. I made jingles English for the whole Taiwan.
Yeah.
All right. I would like to ask we kind of addressed this, but besides finding members and like switching a couple of times and having a break, was there any specific obstacle that you faced as a band leader, coordinator, that you kind of were like, oh, I wish this would be easier?
Well, recently we've been doing the band practices all in Chinese because I've been studying Chinese for about 2.5 years, and the two new guys and everyone in the band can speak Chinese. I speak the worst Chinese, but everyone else, they're either their native level or fluent. And then the two new guys, they don't speak English that much, so it's just like, okay, yeah, we'll all use Chinese, and it's great practice for me but then I think that can lead to miscommunications. Like the first practice with everyone, when I tried to say in English, like it didn't sound as weird in my head in English. I'm like, oh, hey, that sounds a little weird, but I was like, oh, 听起来有点奇怪. Like, and then my friend was like, yo, those are fighting words. So
is he gonna kick me off the band?
So I didn't mean it to sound so harsh, but
no, I totally understand.
Yeah. So yeah, because I'm still learning that, and I think being a band leader, I think there's certain sacrifices that I have to make because sometimes maybe it's not the exact way that I'd prefer things to go.
Hmm.
If everyone's pushing in that direction, like I can let it happen. Or I can put my foot down. And sometimes I will put my foot down and be like, no, it needs to be this way. But I try not to do that too much. And
No.
yeah.
I think there's need for balance. That's good.
Yeah.
And whatever you can't say, just say it in English.
Yeah.
That's the last resort.
You'd have to ask the other people. They're like, how often does he? But they're like, actually, you do that way too much. Yeah, it's like every time. Yeah. I hope they wouldn't say that.
To be fair, it's been your project it's your baby.
Yeah.
You can't just. We're at 49 minutes. All right, 2 more questions. I was going to ask about your influences, and you kind of mentioned your favorite artists, but they're
Yeah.
not necessarily the influences of the music that you've been making, or somehow related.
Somehow there. I said David Bowie before, but I don't think actually. I like his stuff. I wouldn't say he's one of my
Okay.
favorites because there's still more that I need to listen to in his catalog. But I do like certain albums of his quite a lot. One of his is actually I've been listening to as I've been making this new album. I really like the last one he did, Black Star.
Right.
But
So if somebody were to point out, like, hey, your music reminds me of, fill in the blank.
yeah, it depends on the album. I really think so. Because like if you listen to the third album, Black Rainbows, and the last one, Pacific Echo, I really think they sound completely different to me, like sonically. There's been some stuff though overall that has influenced every project. Like I love the Beatles, and I've somehow found a way to incorporate them in everything. And Radiohead too, Beach Boys. I just tend to really like that more harmonically driven music. Even in the raw, like dirty stuff, I really if there's like interesting chord progressions and things like that. Lately I've been listening to a lot of, for the new stuff as I've been working on, I've been really listening to a lot of these bands Black Midi and Geese, and I think they're two of my favorite like currently working active bands, and both of the singers have solo projects that I think are really good too. Yeah. So
Nice.
it could be lots of different things. I don't really know what exactly my music sounds like. Yeah, I don't know.
That's good. Shout out to those bands.
Yeah.
It's so great that you have made already so much stuff that you're just like, yeah, this has this influence, this has this, a little bit of Beatles spirit in all of them. Like, yeah. Because when a person just makes one album, second album, it's like, okay, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But now you're like, yeah, I have.
Yeah,
this,
I'd say
this.
there's lots of different stuff. Like some of it was more, like I said before, I was getting into lots of synth pop, and at one point I was really into ambient music and more of that sort of wavy, spacey stuff. And then in Taiwan I was doing more jazz influenced, like bossa nova, Brazilian stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I think lately I've just been wanting to just make rock music again, because it's been a long time since I made like a proper like rock album. I mean, there's always been some elements of that, but I don't know. I just like plugging my guitar in and being really loud.
Bringing back the young Tanner.
Yeah.
All right. Very last question. If you were to share any great, excellent piece of advice that other musicians gave you, or you would like to pass on to other musicians, would you have anything to share?
I think advice that other people have given me is, I really can't think of anything. I don't know.
To your past self, perhaps?
To my past self, I'd say that it's all gonna work out. I remember, especially now versus in the past, like I remember when I was making my second album, after having made your first album, with it feeling like the collection of the best things you had ever done up to that point, and then trying to do it again, that felt like a huge milestone to cross. And just like you're competing with all of your past stuff, which was the best stuff you had done up to that point. And could you do it again? And then I did do it again. And then I did it again for a third time, and then a fourth time. And then I think every album so far has been a bit better. I mean, I don't know. I'm not the right person to ask, but I've been more proud of every one that I've put out so far. So I think now I've been more relaxed towards and had less anxiety about, could I do it again? Because I think that I believe more in the natural progression of eventually, like, you'll be happy with what you put out when you put it out. Otherwise, you wouldn't put it out.
Yeah.
So it just trust the process and it'll happen. And, one of the benefits of being a smaller artist is I don't have the pressures of a label saying you have to put it out in the next 3 months. So I can take my time with it and just make what I want to make.
Yeah, put it to rest, come back to it.
Yeah.
That's good. You are the rightest person to ask these questions, and it seems like you're at your peak. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
You.